only interested in building a school, you're wrong. FDMG is just the first institution of a black Wall Street that we intend to build right there in Wilmington, Delaware, and then take them all over the world. To the black women who are here, I'm going to be relaunching my Team Pan-African movement as soon as the school is ready. And I need me an army of secretaries who are hardworking, disciplined, and confidential. If you know you can't keep your mouth shut, don't bother. If you know you don't like me, don't bother. If you know your boyfriend, baby daddy, husband, or fiance don't like Ifa Tunde, don't bother. I need serious women who can do some serious work. And when we get started with the work of African racial reconstruction at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, I need women who are not there primarily to find a husband. It's okay you want to find a husband, but that should not be the reason you come and work with me. Come and work for me for the liberation struggle. Too often I meet sisters who come because they want a husband. And so when they get a husband, they disappear. I found brothers who come to get a woman, and soon when they get a woman, they disappear. Nothing wrong with family. We need family. But let's not come and play games with the liberation struggle because we're only looking for a partner at night, brothers and sisters. Let us get serious. I want to say, as I wrap up, that I'm optimistic about our future as a race. I'm optimistic about the American African, us, my community. I'm optimistic about my Canadian brothers and sisters up north. I've been talking to them and building with them, and we're trying to get a building up in Canada for FDMG Toronto and FDMG Montreal. I'll be going back to the Dutch Empire, Curaçao, and St. Martin and Suriname. I just came from Aruba. I'm going to try to get a school down there for our children. I'll be going back over to South Africa, a country that I love so much, and we want to do FDMG South Africa. There's going to be a lot of projects that you can become a part of, because 2023 is going to be the year of work, brothers and sisters. You got to work it. I'm looking for workers. I'm looking for workers. See, being Dr. Umar has its goods and it has its bads. The good part of being Dr. Umar, I can get my message out anytime I want, right? The bad part about being Dr. Umar, sometimes y'all think I'm a rapper or an actor or something. I need y'all to understand I'm a revolutionary activist. I'm a Garveyite par excellence. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I don't just perform and go home. I speak and then I go home and then I build, I organize, I plot, I plan. I'm on the phone all night with Africans all over the world who want to leave our people in a better position than they found it. Brothers and sisters, every last one of us got a birth date, we know it. Every last one of us got a death date, we don't know. When you get put 6 feet in that ground, when it's time to go home to your ancestors and you walk through that door in the ground, they're going to put your birth date, they're going to put your death date. And between both of them will be a hyphen. That hyphen represents everything you did in your life and everything you did not do. What will the world say about you when you're gone? I don't care about the rumors and the slander. I'm talking about the truth of who you are. What will be said about you? Too many Africans suffer from a European selfishness syndrome. All we care about is me, I, and mine. This is one of the reasons black male-female relationships suffer, because most of us ain't trying to help another African grow. We're trying to use them to get to our destination. Brothers and sisters, we got work to do. I'm totally convinced that we can win. I'm totally convinced that we will win. I know it's written in the stars for us to overcome. But we got to do the overcoming. Believe nobody who tells you to wait on Jesus. Believe nobody who tells you to wait on Allah or anybody else. God does not serve African people. African people serve God. And if God is going to help us liberate ourselves, God will work through us. God will not work for us. Stop looking for black celebrities to save us and help us. They're not going to do it. They're too tied up into the power structure. You saw what they tried to do to our good brother Kyrie just for tweeting. But yet you got white folks out here beating up black women, killing people, choking them to death, and they don't get no time at all. Look at Brett Favre, $77 million scam, and they won't even indict the white man because he's white. Brothers and sisters, we got to do better. In conclusion, I want to leave you with a quote from my cousin, my 4 times great-grand-cousin, the Honorable Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey Douglass. My family came to America in 1701. Black man named Bailey, most likely stolen from Nigeria. He was brought to Talbot County, Eastern Shore, Maryland. He married a black woman by the name of Selah, for whom my 11-year-old daughter is named. In 1745, they had Grandma Jenny. In 1774, Grandma Jenny gave birth to Grandma Betsy Bailey, the matriarch of our family. Grandma Betsy was born into slavery, but she married a free black man. My 6 times great-grandmother, young Betsy Bailey. Excuse me, Grandma Betsy married Grandpa Isaac. They had my 6 times great-grandmother, young Betsy Bailey. Frederick's mother, Harriet, was raped. My grandmother, young Betsy, was raped by the white man who owned the family, Aaron Anthony. In 1818, Frederick Douglass was born. In 1819, my 4 times great-grandfather, Stephen Henry Bailey, was born. Frederick ran away. Grandpa Steve wasn't lucky enough to do that. Grandpa Steve married Grandma Caroline. She didn't learn how to read until 1909. On November the 14th, 1841, 10 years after Nat Turner, they gave birth to my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, first black public school teacher in Denton, Maryland. Grandpa George enrolled in the Civil War, 1863, with his father, my grandfather Stephen. They fought in the U.S. Colored Troops, 19th Regiment and 9th Regiment.
You don't know.
9th Regiment was there at Appomattox Courthouse with General Robert E. Lee surrendered. My grandfather was there. The 19th Regiment was in Texas, Galveston, Texas, where General Gordon Granger read Special Order Number 3 that gave birth to the Juneteenth holiday. My grandfather Stephen was there. Frederick didn't fight, but he sent 2 sons, Louis and Charles. They fought in the U.S. Colored Troops, Boston, Massachusetts, 54th Regiment. When the Civil War was over, Grandpa George married Grandma Annie. They had Grandma Caroline. She moved to Philadelphia. She had Grandma Vivian. She married Grandpa Cicero. They had my Grandma Ida, who died 4 years ago. She met Mary James Johnson. They had my father, who met my mother. And on the anniversary of the Haitian Revolution and Nat Turner War, they had me. Frederick Douglass said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess the faith of freedom and deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want the rain but can't stand the thunder or the lightning. They want the ocean, but they're scared of the awful roar of its waves." Frederick Douglass said, "For 20 years I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave me no freedom till I got up off my knees and started praying with my feet." He said, "If you want respect from the white man, why do you look for pity? The man who pities you will never respect you. The man who respects you has no need for pity." Frederick said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will. If we are ever going to get free as African people, we must pay for the freedom." He said, "You might pay with blood, you might pay with words, you might pay with your life. But a man who can fight for his own freedom and chooses not to isn't worth being fought for it by others." Marcus Garvey, the only black man to build an international mass movement without the use of religion. Greatest human organizer of all time, greatest Pan-Africanist as ever, greatest black leader of the 20th century. No one even comes close. 13 million, no cell phone. 13 million, no helicopter. 13 million Africans, no airplane, no TikTok, no Twitter. But Marcus Garvey gave us that. The father of the red, black, and green flag said, "Without confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started." Marcus Garvey said, "God never intended us to be a race without a nation of our own, and we are not going to abuse God's confidence in us as men." Marcus Garvey said the only argument that will satisfy your enemy is power, physical, economic, political, and militaristic. You can vote all day long.
Let me move.
Nothing will change because you voted. You can march all day long. Nothing will change because you marched. You can protest all day long. Nothing will change until black people come together like an unbreakable chain and say, I am, and this is what I want, and if I don't get it, these are the consequences. Brothers and sisters, take out your phone. I want to give you my cell number in case you need to reach me. I hope some sisters in here, elder queen mothers, if you still got the energy, you can be a secretary too. I mean serious people. To my young people in the room, brothers and sisters, 25 and under, if you have a skill or a talent, I need you to text me your information and let me know what you know how to do. Dr. Umar build websites. Dr. Umar, I do digital currency. Young people, I'm going to put you to work if you're looking towards being put to work. If you want to help the freedom struggle, I got a place for you. Just shoot me a text. My cell number is, I'm going to give it to you 3 times. And before I give you my cell number, some of you asked about my book. I have copies on the other side. Over there, the table closest to the woman's bathroom, Sister Marcia has the books over there. My cell number, 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. I want to end with a little story. Text me, don't call me. I do not answer the phone until I lock you in. Text me, don't call me. We can talk after I lock you in. I never answer the phone if I don't know the number. And if you call me 10, 20 times back to back, I'm blocking you.
Block party.
Queen Mother Harriet Tubman escapes from slavery to freedom in 1850, the year of the Fugitive Slave Law. She stood only about 5'1", weighed only about 100 pounds soaking wet. Took about 19 trips on the Underground Railroad, freeing ancestors all through the South. Freed her mother, freed her father, freed her brothers, freed most of her sisters. They begged her not to go back, and Queen Mother Harriet said, Mama, Dad, God put me on this mission. I don't stop till the Lord stops.
So they free.
They said, Harriet, your slave master got a $40,000 bounty on your head. She said, so what? If it's God's plan for me to be caught, captured, and killed, I accept it with no fear. Queen Mother Harriet Tubman said, plenty of times I got scared. Plenty of times I was stopped in my tracks. Plenty of times I didn't have a way out. But I would call on God. And every time I called on God, the good Lord would find a way for me out of my situation. She said, plenty of times they could have got me, but the Lord never failed me. After she freed all them Africans, she got a phone call from one of the generals in the Civil War. We need you in South Carolina, Harriet. At the time, she was in Auburn, New York, doing what? She had an old folks home. Harriet Tubman built the hospital. Harriet Tubman built the farm. This black woman unlearned, no formal education, but she got a hospital, a farm, and an old folks shelter. Harriet Tubman. And she left all that, went to the South. Became a nurse, a spy, a scout in the Civil War. Only woman in American history to lead troops into battle. No woman ever except Harriet Tubman. And guess what? She actually did free more than 1,000. Because the battle that she led the U.S. colored troops on was the Combahee River Raid. In one swoop, with Harriet as general. Not only did she lead the Combahee River Raid, she planned the Combahee River Raid. And in that raid, under the leadership of Harriet Tubman, the U.S. colored troops freed over 750 enslaved Africans in one day. But when she was old and gray and they sat her down, brothers and sisters, They said, do you have any regrets? And that bold black woman who died on, try to remember Harriet Tubman's death date, March the 10th, 1913. And then Marcus Garvey, the second Moses, would come with the Garvey movement in 1914. Queen Mother Harriet said, I freed hundreds of slaves. I could have freed thousands. The problem is, they didn't even know they were slaves. The reason I love the Harriet Tubman story is because it speaks to faith in God.
That's right.
And although I'm as political as they come, I'm as Pan-Africanist as they come, I believe that we don't get that school in Delaware if I lose my faith in God. Our ancestors didn't believe we would get free if they lost their faith in God. I'm telling you, black people, you must keep your faith in God by whatever name you call it.
31 years, baby. 31 years.
Nothing wrong with prayer. I pray every day. And you better pray every day.
That's right.
But worship without works is dead. The problem ain't the prayer. We need more. The problem is we don't back the prayer up with works. I'm saying that to say, get back into your art of prayer. Get back into your meditation. Get back into calling on your ancestors and pouring your libation to your living dead relatives.
Right.
Because nothing happens on earth. We don't get FDMG. We don't get Black Wall Street. We don't get freedom. We don't get justice. We don't get reparations unless Spirit says so. So until we get on the side of Spirit, nothing on earth will come to fruition. So we got to get back on the side of the Most High by whatever name you use. Because until we get on the side of the Most High will be on our side. When we're done here, we got about 7 vendors in that room. I don't want nobody to leave here until you go over there and patronize one of these vendors over here. I don't care which one it is. I don't care if you spend $1 or $100, but show some love to black businesses. Because Lord knows, you've been financing Chinese businesses, you've been financing Mexican businesses, Jewish, Anglo-Saxon, Arab, East Indian. How about supporting your own for a change? And for those who want a picture with me or want me to sign a copy of my book, I will be here for you. And I hope the next time I see you will be on February the 25th at 611 East 17th Street in Wilmington, Delaware, for the community grand opening of your school, my school, our school. The first school in American history built exclusively with the global black dollar, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy.